Hello everybody. Today we have a very special model unboxing today. It is the Gemini Jets 1/400 scale Delta Connection Bombardier / Mitsubishi CRJ-900. This is the brand new 2024 January release of this model right here. There you can see it inside of the flap. What an amazing release right here by Gemini Jets. Considering their 2021 release, which I actually have right with me here on the MSP layout. This aircraft right here, this is the previous one. This one was released. It sold out in 39 minutes back in 2021. I believe that was what it was. Maybe that was the American one, but it sold out insanely fast. Like an hour after it was released, you couldn't really buy it. So that was quite incredible for that aircraft. But this, they have a larger supply of them now, and less people are interested because they may have already gotten the previous release. So this one probably going to be the less valuable out of all the CRJs, but it'll be nice to add to the collection just as another piece for MSP because they get a lot of CRJ-900s. So this will be my fifth one if you include the Shapeways Customs, but my third Gemini Jets one, as they also have the Comair 30 years of flight livery. But anyways, the box is your typical Gemini Jet stuff, but you see the model inside. I'll lift up the camera here so you can read the flap if you like. Right there, sharing some information on the CRJ family. Not really in particular the CRJ-900, but CRJs in general. But we'll get this aircraft out of here. It is worth noting that it does still say copyright 2023 on the back, even though this is a January 2024 release. So we'll put the box off to the side. Here's our plastic cradle. And we'll pop off the top of that. And here we have our model inside. Now, before we get into the review, I have a few things, a few opinions to share about this model. And that is that, yes, I'm very excited that this was released, but I feel that it could have and maybe should have been a whole lot better from Gemini Jets, and I'll explain why in a moment. I'm excited to have the model. I just think that it could have been a lot better, and you'll see why here once I get into the review. But we'll do our review of the aircraft here. So getting her zoomed on in, we have our nose cone up here. We have our nose gear down there. It also has CRJ-900 on the landing gear doors right there. You can get that a little bit closer to the camera. You might be able to see it if it will focus. There you can see it says CRJ-900 on the nose gear door. That's pretty cool. Operated by SkyWest right there, and I also have a SkyTeam logo right there on the fuselage, right next to the L1 door. Here's the L1 boarding door, which also double as stairs to get up to the aircraft, like they do on all CRJs. Here is the Delta titles up here with Connection underneath, because this is in the Delta, of course, their Delta Connection brand, their regional brand. So there you see that. I mean, the Delta livery is pretty plain, so you got really nothing else here. You can see a little bit of the underbelly right there. And I don't believe this aircraft has a Delta belly either, because it's a regional jet. It's really too small to put in a Delta belly, but there's the bottom of the aircraft, which I guess we can just go over real quick. You have the Gemini Jets logo. You have the main gear, which I am going to talk about more in detail on why this is particularly disappointing. And there's also the stand holder on the bottom. Here we have our overwing exits right here, the two, and then also the exit path right there. They are nicely molded flaps and ailerons and all the good stuff right here on the trailing end of the wing. And you also see the winglet right there, which is just plain blue, like it is on all Delta aircraft, except for the A350. Here is the American flag, and the registration is number 800 Sierra Kilo, so I believe that is the first CRJ-900 that SkyWest received, and then in turn that would be the first CRJ that Delta, well, I guess they had Comair. I'm not sure if SkyWest or Comair received them first for Delta, but this would be the first SkyWest CRJ-900 for Delta, so that's pretty nice right there, because I believe Endeavor received them later than SkyWest and Comair. So yeah, this would be the SkyWest example. it said the delivery date on the box. This was delivered back in 2006, July 2006. This would have been one of the earliest CRJ-900s, because I believe it kind of came into service there in the early to mid 2000s. And then further back here we have our GE. These are CF34s, I believe. CF34 engines. Thanks to the box for giving me the details on that. And then here we have, of course, the beautiful Delta widget on the tail. I really love the Delta widget with the T-tails. I mean, it looks great on, your conventional tails that you'll see on most of, the mainline fleet, but I think it looks even better with the T-tail on it, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know. I guess it kind of parallels, like the horizontal stabilizer parallels with the top of the widget. I'm not really sure why, but I really like how it looks with the details. So the CRJs look really good with the Delta widget. And here's the other side of the aircraft, which is pretty much the same stuff you got going on here. You have some luggage doors on this side, which I guess aren't really showing up there very well on camera. Or were they on the other side? I forget. On the RJs, they're on the port side of the aircraft, and then on mainline aircraft, they're on the they're on the starboard side on mainline, and also on the UN-75s, they're on the starboard side. But on the CRJs, for whatever reason, they're on the port side. I'm not really sure why they do that, and they really only use the rear cargo door, in my experience. But that's just a little quirky thing with the CRJ-900 here. Now I will get into why I'm slightly disappointed with this model. Now, Gemini Jets, they did fix the horizontal stabilizers here, because on the older release, which I'll just bring in now so we can compare these two, on the 2021 release, you can see here, these are angled up, which is incorrect. They are supposed to be like more flat like that, so this is the correctly molded version, then this is not correctly molded. This is also an issue with the American CRJ-900. But an issue that was also with this original, or I guess not original, but the 2021 release, is that the landing gear were placed in the wrong spot. And as you can see, they're placed over the wheel wells. They're supposed to retract into where they're placed. And unfortunately, that issue has not been fixed on the new model, which you couldn't really tell in the photos. I was of the assumption that this version would be basically just a fixed version of this one. Unfortunately, as you can see, it has not been fixed. So that is quite unfortunate, if I do say so myself. I was really looking forward to this model just hopefully being a lot better than this one in terms of how it was, in terms of production and how it was put together. Another thing, which is not, I guess, it was not present on this one that I was hoping would be on this one, as it was in Gemini Jet's more recent CRJ-900 releases, were the antennae here on the top of the fuselage. Because in the most recent releases, like for example the Mesa CRJ-900, that model did have antennae on it. This one does not, which is once again a bit disappointing, because I was expecting that one. When they released it, I expected it to have the some antennae on it, some aerials, because that seemed to be what Gemini Jets was doing with their mold. But clearly, that has not come to fruition, which is, I guess, it's a nitpicky detail, but it is unfortunate that this model does not have that when they could get it on other CRJ-900s. But yeah, here are the two aircraft right here. I'm glad to still add another CRJ-900 for Delta Connection into the fleet, because it is very much useful at MSP, considering how many CRJ-900s fly here. It was the same reason when they released the E175, I got two of them, and now I do not need two of the new release of CRJ-900, because I already have this one and then another Gemini Jets one, and then two Shapeways customs. So I think I'm pretty much set on the CRJ-900s, but yeah, great to see that Gemini is releasing so many Delta Connection aircraft, really boosting the regional fleet of many collectors over the past 3 years or so, which has been really good to see. Glad that Gemini Jets has been doing that, because it was an area where they were lacking for a while, and now they're definitely picking up the slack in that department, and it is making our model airports and collections a whole lot more realistic and a whole lot more complete. So thanks to Gemini Jets there. Would I recommend this model? Yes. If you still need a Delta Connection CRJ-900, definitely go for this release. Just be aware that it is not going to be completely fixed from the old release, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, what are you going to do about it, I guess, at this point? It's just a little bit unfortunate there. But yeah, that'll do it for this unboxing. Hope you enjoyed this review of this brand new Gemini Jets release. And I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.